looking for the world's best ham sandwich, it's just one of the things that Alan Doyle guides us to in the smiling land. The proud Newfoundlander joins us now with more on his charming home province. I love this book.
Oh, thank you very much for reading it. And we were chatting just before we came on, and you said the magic words, because I would say like the home run for it is if people read it and like it, that's good for me. But if the grand slams, if people read it and go, I really got to come behind you and go to Newfoundland, and
yes.
Like, that's awesome.
Well, I mean, it was always kind of like on the bucket list, but reading this, I kept bugging my husband and friends of ours that we travel with, saying, we have to go, we have to go. And the little notes that I've made. I
know you get so many notes.
Okay, they're not about the interview. They're spots I want to go to.
Well, there's so many, and I didn't even go to all of them, but it's really a love letter to my own home province, and like just a little sort of jaunt around Newfoundland and Labrador to discover and rediscover for me, like what's, if I grew up in the old Newfoundland, like, well, what's the new Newfoundland? You know, what are people, if these places were once all fishing communities like the one that I grew up in, you know, what are they doing now? Are they still doing that? Is it different? Is it, and what are the things that would make, you know, for an interesting trip to people to come behind me? And of course the people are always the best part, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I could use like a trip around Newfoundland and Labrador sort of to discuss and some of the more wacky and weird things that makes Newfoundland and Labrador a strange and wonderful place.
And you did it with this trip 2 years ago with your people, with your wife Joanne and your son Henry.
Yeah.
In a minivan. I love that.
It was not a good idea at all. No, but our son, it's our son Henry there. You know, our son is, you know, he's 20 almost now, 19 and a bit. And he was like 17, 18 when we did most of these trips. And we just figured it was the last time we're ever going to get him to come anywhere with us, you know. So it was really great to do that as a family, but also it was cool to see it through his eyes, right? Because, you know, like one of the, in a weird kind of way, I feel like when I was 18, even though we didn't have the internet or anything like that, I knew more about Newfoundland than he does, you know, because he can read about anything, you know. And so like I just really wanted him to experience his own backyard, you know,
by doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, by doing it. And some of these trips are pretty treacherous. Like I'm like, ooh, there's a lot of driving that you do. And you hate to drive.
Yeah, I know. I'm in a passenger seat all the time. But it's a huge place with not a lot of people in it, and it has this vast diversity of geography and people and culture and stories and songs, and it just makes for an incredible place to wander about, you know, and I love it. I've always loved it. I've only ever lived home, and hopefully I always will.
And it's interesting that you say there's so many of the world's best things there. So you talk about the best ham sandwich, but the best urban nature trail in the world, you think?
I think one of the best walks you can do in the city is the North Head Trail in Signal Hill in St. John's. And I just was in Vancouver, and I walked the Stanley Park seawall, and I'm like, man, oh man, like it's just like there's so many beautiful ones. But the North Head Trail in Signal Hill in St. John's is one of the greatest things you can do, like just from walking out of your hotel room. You know, it's like absolutely fantastic, and you know, it all makes for a great trip, and it makes for a place that is not like anywhere else. You know, and that's the main thing I always say, like, it's far from everything, and come check it out.
and so much of it is preserved. What's the Battle Harbour?
Battle Harbour, yeah, that's extraordinary. Battle Harbour is on the southeast tip of Labrador, and it's just, you know, you leave the mainland of Labrador and go, you know, a number of kilometers out into the ocean to get to this old fishing town premises called Battle Harbour, and all the buildings are completely preserved. Like they're not redone or remade or rebuilt. They are the same, you know. And like so, it's like stepping back in time. Like it's incredible, and like the distances you have to travel to get to some of the places, and the realization of where you are on the globe constantly is
how far removed you are.
Oh my God, you're so far from everything. It's awesome.
And I found it interesting. We've got about a minute left, but I found it interesting. You found your love of Newfoundland by working as a teenager at the museum.
When I was a kid, I got a job. I was 16. I got a job as a tour guide at the Newfoundland Museum, and a Doyle from Petty Harbour was going to get paid to talk. It was one of the greatest accomplishments in our family lineage, I'll tell you right now. And we've never been so proud. And but I loved it. Like I loved like being a host to people in Newfoundland, like people who are visiting the province or whatever. Even as a 16-year-old, I loved it, and I'm 56 now, and I still love it. I still love telling people about, you know, the different spots that are around Newfoundland and Labrador, and hoping people have a good time when they get there.
Okay, I'm keeping this book, and I'm looking you up because you kind of vaguely describe where you live. So when I'm in Newfoundland and Labrador, I'm going to be at your door,
I'm
Alan
easy
Doyle.
to find.
Okay, it's called The Smiling Land. It is out now. What a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thanks so much. Thanks, everybody.
Home on the island, people